Come on, let's do it.
Oh man, it's one of those absolutely stunning October afternoons here in the Hudson Valley. I've always said my favorite month is May, my second favorite month is October. And those are real favorites. I don't mind doing it with that. With food, it's different. You know, you like this, you like that. It's hard to pick a favorite. Beatles songs, impossible. But May is my favorite month here. October 2nd, and it is gorgeous out. It's almost 3 o'clock. I got to get cracking. It's a Friday afternoon. Got guests coming 4:30. Little patio action, and it is the perfect day. So I'm doing snacks. Somebody's bringing baguettes and cheese and all of that. I already made a beautiful hummus and baba ganoush, and I insist on baba ganoush. We did an episode way back when. You must build a wood fire. I'm sorry. You need that smoke on the eggplant, that char, and this baba is delicious. So I'm covered in wood smoke from the Weber. I want to get in the shower. I'm unkempt. I want to get tidied up before guests arrive. So let's quickly put this last snack together. And it's something that I've been meaning to try. And I'll tell you why when we get over to the marble here and show you what I have. Come on. Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, so I planted some cauliflower this year. I had some seeds left over from last year, and last year it petered out, didn't do well at all. This year I got some nice little heads. I planted them late, up front when I took all the shallots and garlic out. Those beds were sitting empty. So I put a bunch of stuff in them. Second round of zucchini, arugula. Might as well use that soil. And now next year's garlic and shallots are in the ground. But I got a couple of nice little heads of cauliflower. Now, I made the other night cauliflower tacos, which were unbelievable. And I had cleaned them and froze them. I blanched them and froze them. So these are out of the freezer. So they're not hard like a raw cauliflower would be. They were blanched and then frozen, but they're not super mushy. Okay? So hopefully this is going to work. I want to make something that I used to get at the Northern Spy. These were big. You've probably seen them on restaurant menus. It's another one of those things. Some guy does it, and then it becomes a trend, and then it becomes a fad. And it's cauliflower buffalo wings, right? Instead of using chicken wings, you use these cauliflower florets. So now the point is, they're supposed to be crunchy on the outside. And that's what we're making now. A little all-purpose flour, a little cornstarch. We're making the outside sort of like a batter. And then we're going to fry them. I've got the Breville. It's already preheated. I've got it up at 450 on the bake mode. And I got a tray ready to go for these. So flour, cornstarch. Let's season this up. A little bit of the smoked paprika. A little garlic and onion powder. And by the way, we don't mind on this show admitting our mistakes. I told you, there's always full disclosure. I think on the last episode, I said this backwards. I said that the garlic powder was the lighter and the onion was the more yellow. And it's the exact opposite. I just tasted them. This is the onion powder. No doubt. And this is the garlic powder. Onion powder, garlic powder. Let's put a little salt. And now I just got good old H2O right out of the tap here. Okay, we're going to get this, again, like we did with our frying batter. We want this to coat, but hang on. So you got to really pay attention to how thick / thin you make this batter. I'm going to get all that flour and cornstarch dissolved though. I think just a touch thinner. Not much. A couple of drops. That ought to do it. Yeah. I should get a whisk on this actually, you know? Really get that flour dissolved. There we go. Spoon doesn't quite cut it. And I want it thick enough that it'll crunch up as it bakes. So, wow, it's actually quite tasty. I'm going to go with a pinch more paprika and salt. And you know what? I didn't add any pepper. I'm a fan of black pepper in just about everything I make. Okay, that should be our batter. Let's get the cauliflower in. Yeah, that did it. Just coat them up. All right, get my tray. Put these on. Give them enough space so that they roast around each other. We don't want them close enough where they're giving off steam. So, you know, the blanch might work because the coating is what's going to get crunchy. And then we'll have this nice, softly cooked cauliflower inside, is what my guess is. And this is just a little snack. I've been wanting to try them. Like I said, we used to order these years ago. It was quite the fad. And I had the cauliflower in the freezer. Why not try it? And you know what? If it's a bust, that's why I'm not making too many. I'm also doing shishito. And like I said, we've got cheese and baguette coming. So no shortage of munchies. But if this works, it'll be a nice little thing on the side. If it doesn't work, I'll suffer through them. But that's why I didn't use all the cauliflower. I still have at least this many or more in the freezer. And if it's good, I'll do another batch down the line. All right, I'm going to pop this in the Breville. Nothing to see there. It's up at 450. It's on bake. 10 minutes and it will flip them. I'll move the camera over there when we're ready to flip. Meet me over at the stove. Okay, we're making buffalo wings. We got to have a little buffalo sauce, no? Back in the day, I used to make wings almost every week with the Kooks. So I've made more than my fair share of buffalo sauce. Butter, we're just going to make a small batch. That's maybe 2 tablespoons. Maybe that's 1.5. Let's go with about 2. Simplest sauce in the world. Unmistakable flavor. Everyone knows it. It's just butter and hot sauce. And I would say I have to kind of insist on the Franks. Give this a shake. This is brand new. Just picked this up yesterday. Melt it. You don't really cook this. I'm just melting the butter. You could just mix this up with melted butter. And we're going to go with just a touch of honey. Not much. Just to add a little touch of sweetness to it. And regular seasonings, which basically is going to be the same as we did for the batter. A little kosher salt. Little onion and garlic powders. Now, years ago, I was at my buddy Stewart's in Poughkeepsie. It was a big party, big wing fest going on. And there was a dude there who kind of took over the show and insisted, and I mean insisted, that the secret to the wings, and it was non-negotiable in this sauce, was white pepper. Well, we don't have white pepper. We're going with black pepper. I mean, come on, dude. You're going to notice the difference. White pepper. You're going to taste the difference. I know the Asians use white pepper a lot, mainly for the visual thing. You don't see it in certain sauces and dishes. Flavor. If you got the palate to discern, power to you. I'm using black pepper. And that's it. Just going to melt the butter. I'll check. The butter to Frank's hot sauce ratio is the key. That's what you want to get. And again, I've made so many batches of wings in my life. I did not measure. You could always Google out buffalo wing sauce recipes. I just do it off the top of my head. I do it by taste. And in fact, I'm going to turn the heat off. This is not really a cooked sauce. You just need that butter melted. Okay, we do have guests coming. Let's get a tasting spoon. Here we go. That is buffalo sauce. Nailed it. Needs nothing. Okay, so we'll just let that sit. We've got just 2.5 minutes left before we flip over the cauliflower wings. So let's head. That gives me enough time to move this camera. See you over at the Breville. All right, here we are. 2 minutes left. They're looking good. Getting some color, as you can see. Outside, it's a sunny October afternoon. Gonna sit at that patio. Don't mind the disarray on top of the Breville here. I'm saving seeds. You got banana pepper, matchbox pepper, cherry pepper, some tomato. So that's what's going on up here. All right, 1 minute left. Oh, they look good. I'm gonna zoom in. All right. That was 10 minutes. Let's give everybody a flip. You can see we're starting to get a little brown on the batter, and it feels like it's gonna crisp up. Whew, hot. Let me pull this away from the Breville a little more. I go in there to get in with the tongs and I'm burning my hand. 10 more minutes, I think they're gonna have the perfect color and a nice crunch. Oh, these are gonna be good. Are you kidding me? Bathed in the buffalo sauce. So back in, we flip them over. And yes, they're getting a nice crunch on the outside. Let's get them back in for another 10. I'll see you when they're done. Oh, actually, onto the board here. Let's make something else. All right, these are wings. We do need a dipping sauce. Now, for me, with wings, I didn't think of it. I was at the market yesterday. Totally slipped my mind. I should have got stuff for a blue cheese dip, because that's what I love. But we'll make a little faux ranch, okay? A little plain Greek yogurt. A little mayonnaise, and this one I made yesterday. This is an interesting thing I found online. This is a mayonnaise that I made from fried eggs. When you don't want to go through the whole emulsion thing, you can look it up. Mayonnaise from fried eggs. It was an interesting experiment. I prefer traditional emulsified egg yolk mayonnaise. But this was a good quickie. I wanted some tuna, and I didn't have mayo. And I've got more than my share of eggs. Little lemon juice. Okay, so this could be sour cream, but I have yogurt. So plain yogurt, mayonnaise, little lemon juice. I'm using cider vinegar. You could use white distilled. I'll just go with a capful to start. And salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Getting my mileage out of this stuff, huh? Still nice and fresh too. I get it in bulk at the health food store. I keep it in those bags, wrapped up inside an airtight little sort of Tupperware type of thing. Lasts for a good long while. This is dried dill, and I think I have a little fresh dill out there. It's the end of the season. I used some yesterday or the day before when I pickled my peppers. I might have used it all, but I think there might be a few leaves that I can grab. If not, no worries. We got the dried here, but I will go out before I serve it and get some chives. And this dried dill, by the way, has nice punch, nice aroma. If you dry your herbs properly, they hold those essential oils inside until you crush, and then they release. All right, let's see what we got here for faux sort of a ranch dressing. Oh, it's delectable. Dip those wings in this. Wings, cauliflower wings. Let's see, what can it use though? Punch it up. A little more of the garlic, or onion I should say. A little more of the garlic. And I think just a touch, a few more drops of lemon juice. Should do it. Don't forget, I'm going to add chives. Yeah, that's lovely. Another spot of black pepper. And we've got a dipping sauce for our cauliflower buffalo wings. And they're almost done. A couple minutes left. We'll have a look. Toss them in that buffalo sauce, and I'll give one a taste. These guys are not going to come on camera. All right, see you when they're done. All right, these are done. We're going to sauce them, but we're going to put them back in. Now, a little quick housekeeping here while I brush these. I'm just going to brush them with the buffalo sauce, and then we're going to put them back in. A little quick housekeeping. First of all, I have to apologize to a friend of mine down in Memphis, Buddy. She had asked for a recipe of something that I had posted on my socials, just a photo of a dish I made, and I promised her it might be this week's episode. I'm sorry, Buddy. I am going to do it, but the thing is, I had this cauliflower. I wanted to use it. The sage bush is good till, Jesus, way into December. That's a hardy plant, so that's out there. So I will get to that in the next week or couple of weeks at the very most. I have not forgotten about you. All right, second bit of housekeeping. If you enjoy the show, please hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps the show. If you're not a subscriber and you stumbled on us, please subscribe. You know, algorithm, all that nonsense. It really helps. And if you want to know when we're coming out, we come out every Sunday. But I had another friend who, I post the show on my socials, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, you name it. When it comes out, I generally post it. And somebody else was relying on that and then thinking the show didn't go up because the thing wasn't on Facebook. Well, if you hit the notification bell, you'll always know. You'll get a notification that a new episode has come out. But if you subscribe to the channel, it's a no-brainer. You just come back every Sunday. You know, it's debatable how early in the morning I get it up. I try to have it all edited Saturday night and get it up as early as I can. Doesn't always happen. There's been glitches with YouTube or power outages where I think once in the 4 years we've been doing the show, once I had to publish on a Monday. I think it was a power outage that just did not resolve. So I try to get the show up as early on Sunday morning as I can. Doesn't always happen, but we've been pretty consistent. Okay, these are all brushed. I'm saving a little for the final brush. So let's put these back in for 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of crisp up the sauce. All right, back in we go. We'll taste them in a few minutes. I'll let you know how they are. Okay, Dunsky. Let's see what we got here. Cauliflower buffalo wings. They're very, very hot. I'll take this little tiny one here. Put a little of our ranch on it. excellent snack. Perfect little goodie to put out with the other stuff. And what I'll do is, it's now 3:30. Those guys will be here in an hour. I'm going to hop in the shower. I'm going to leave those in the Breville. And what I'll do is, when they get here, as we're putting other stuff out, I'll turn it back on. I'll brush them. There's just a little bit of the buffalo sauce left. I'll brush them once more, put them back in to warm them back up and crisp them. I'll put the ranch dressing in a nice little serving bowl. Put those in something. Great appetizer, man. Cauliflower buffalo wings from the 2025 late season cauliflower. I'll see you all for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.
By the way, this baba ganoush is out of control.